All right. So we are mostly in the last demo session today, and mostly from Monday onwards, you need to enroll to the course so that you can proceed with the CDH decisioning program. So today, let us discuss about uh, the application setup and everything. So just to recap what we have learned in the last two sessions. So we have seen the difference between Pega decisioning and Pega marketing. Pega decisioning is to identify the next best action. Pega marketing is to deliver the next best action. There are two types of marketing, inbound marketing and outbound marketing. Inbound marketing is the customer will initiate the discussion and the business will promote the offer. Outbound marketing means business will only promote the offers. Then we have seen the CDH portal, the environment preparation. As part of the environment preparation, you need to set up the environment with the CDH services, right? You need to set up the CDH services in order to make the CDH application to work. So that's what we have seen as of now. And we started the application creation actually. We started the application creation also. Okay. Now let us go to the Dev Studio. Okay. So this is my application, CDH application. All right. So let us see what is the application definition that we have. So again, we'll be sharing the enroll exercises to the enrolled people, mostly from Monday, so that you can practice whatever we are discussing in the daily sessions. So yesterday we have also seen this CAR model, right? CAR model stands for Customer Analytics Record. So anyone wants to tell what is the purpose of that CAR model? What does it contain?
So CAR model is like specific to each environment, like business type, whether it is banking or telecommunication or insurance. So it gets the sample data specific to that organization, right?
So what does it mean, sample data, in the sense like what kind of?
Sample, let us say, related properties and classes where we can customize for our business requirement.
Correct. Yes, good. Okay, so the CAR model will also be there, which you can install manually. So we have the NBAD template. The NBAD template will also be installed with the wizard. The CAR model contains the data model, like the properties, columns, classes, tables, everything. NBAD template contains the configuration for your application, right? Whatever the sample offers will be there, sample configuration, sample settings in CDH portal, all those will be in the NBAD template. So that's what we have seen. Now, this is the banking application which we are going to learn throughout our application, throughout our course. Okay. So which is called U plus bank. So which is called U plus bank. That is the name of the bank that we are going to work through our course. You see, this is our U plus bank. So when you have created your application, when your application has been created for the first time, now what happens is you will be seeing a structure like this. You will be seeing the application like this. Okay. So if you see on the right side, let us understand these rule sets. The first one is the OLSTDR CDH rule set. Okay, OLSTDR CDH rule set. So this is the rule set that is created with the operations manager. So we have a separate topic for operations manager. So this rule set is created by operations manager. OL stands for overlay standard release. CDH is the application name. Okay. So that means if you are doing any changes, any fixes as part of operations manager, then those fixes will be going into this rule set. Okay. So again, we'll see in detail what is this rule set, how it will come, everything. So the second rule set that we have is artifacts rule set. Very important rule set for Pega decisioning applications, which is artifacts rule set. So the purpose of artifacts rule set is whenever you are doing any configuration in the CDH portal, customer decision hub, like for example, I am updating some next best action designer configuration. I am updating some settings. In the backend, some rules will be created, which will be auto-generated rules. They will be automatically going into artifacts rule set. It is a recommended rule set, which will contain the auto-generated rules when you do any kind of configuration changes in the CDH portal. Okay, for example, I am updating this setting. This is not a rule, right? On the UI, it's not a rule. But in the backend, whatever the rule will be there, that rule will be updated and it will be stored in the CDH artifacts rule set. Okay, so this rule set should always be unlocked in every environment. At least the latest version of this rule set should always be unlocked, because when you are doing some changes in the CDH portal directly, there will be some auto-generated rules associated with that configuration changes that you are doing. They will be going and storing into this rule set only, artifacts rule set. So if you are not keeping it unlocked, then you cannot do the changes because the auto-generated rules will fail to save. That is the reason every time, every environment, highest version of this rule set should be unlocked. Okay, so remember that one. And it also works like a production rule set, right? Because it's always unlocked in production also. If you want to do some immediate fixes in production directly, you can do it directly in production. That's what you can do with the help of this rule set. Okay. So next we have NBAD tests. NBAD stands for Next Best Action Designer. So this is my next best action designer configuration, and any kind of changes, like any kind of testing that you want to do, you can store it into this rule set. So this is like a test cases rule set. This is like a test cases rule set. For example, I want to do some kind of testing. Okay, I want to test my strategy. I want to do the testing of whatever the changes I have done in the customer decision hub portal. So I can create some test cases. I can create some testing rules, like some hard-coded rules done for testing purpose. So all that rules that you create for testing purpose, those rules you will be keeping it in the NBAD test rule set. So again, what is rule set? All those, if you want to know, that is again part of the Pega development, right? Rule set. So I don't want to cover that. Again, I recommend you to go through and take a parallel course in Pega development, because that is covered there. What is a rule? What is a rule set? All those things they will be covering there. Okay. So this is the rule set where you will store the testing related rules and any test cases only for testing purpose. And you don't need to deploy also to higher versions. Okay. Just only testing related rules will be there. Then CDH rules, which you know, all your Pega development rules, you will keep it here. Then you have CDH common. So the CDH common is like a common rule set between multiple applications, multiple CDH applications that you can say. For example, there are some rules which are going to be stored here that I want to use in some other CDH application also. That means in the same organization, you have some other rule, some other application also, some other CDH application. You want some common rule, right? That's common rule that you can keep it in the CDH common. Okay. CDH common will contain the common rules that can be reused in multiple other CDH applications. Okay. For example, the organization, let us say ABC organization is having some DEF application. Along with DEF application, some XYZ application is also there. So in both applications, I want to use some common CDH rule. Then that common rule, you have to keep it in the CDH common. Okay. So that is the purpose of that. And again, CDH int are development and development implementation development rules, implementation integration rules. So this you already know, it will be there in development application also. Okay. CDH is my implementation application development rules. CDH int will contain the implementation integration related rules. UBank, that is organization related rules. Any organization level rules that you have, you can keep it in the UBank. Any organization level integrations are there that you can keep it in the UBank int. So this one you can ignore. This is a application rule set for this sample application. So overall, this one and this one will not be there, but remaining all will be there in your real-time projects also. Okay, clear? Did you understand or did not understand any of this rule set?
I have one doubt. What would be the difference between CDH rules and CDH? Because both are the developments one, right? So, what is the main difference between these two?
Yeah, generally in real-time projects, you keep the development related rules. For example, some data transforms, activities, any kind of like case management related rules, those you will keep here. In CDH, you will keep the data model related rules like classes, properties, this kind of things. Okay. So in the general perspective, I'm telling you, in real-time project perspective, you will be using CDH for data model related changes. Like you created some table, DB table, some class, some properties, right? All those you will keep it in the CDH rule set. In CDH rule set, you will keep some kind of development related changes like data transforms, activities, and all those. Okay, so that's what I have generally seen.
Oh, okay. So, will this support branch development for the CDH?
Yeah. Yes, will. So there is no
Okay.
issue. So everything is same. So branch development, everything you can add branches and you can do it. That's how you do it in real time also. Okay.
Yes. So, in the real time, right? So, whatever this you said, it, CDH artifacts will be there, right? So, whatever the ODB
Correct.
rules also will
CDH
get
is
saved.
the application ID. So if
Yeah.
your application name is something else, it will be like ABC-artifacts like that. Okay.
Yeah, so this artifacts, if we are keeping this branch development on, right? So if we keep the branch development on, if I create some branch, okay, let's say,
Mhm.
and if I'm going to the end user portal now, and if I'm doing some any changes in the artifacts, will
Mhm.
that Pega will not allow to store in the branch?
It will.
Oh, okay.
So it will create a branched rule set of branched version of this rule set. Okay. You will have a separate branch rule set, right? So same way,
Yeah.
same here also it will be.
Okay.
Later you will merge into this rule set.
The CDH artifacts.
Yeah.
So it will allow us to create over there also, right? So it won't be
Right.
a problem. Okay.
Yes. But I have seen people do not store it into CDH artifact directly because you are creating a branch. That branch will contain the manually saved rules. So, for example, you are opening some data transform and you are saving, right? That kind of rules will be there in your branch. But the auto-generated rules will automatically go into this only. Okay. They
Okay.
will still not go into branch. Auto-generated rules will go into rule set version directly. Okay. So that's the reason even if you have branches also, branches will contain only the manually updated rules, manually changing rules. Auto-generated rules will still have to go here. Okay. But unless, for example, strategy, some rules are there, which you still keep it in artifacts. For example, strategies, segments. I'll tell you like which all rules when we discuss the topic. Those rules still they are not auto-generated, but you have to keep them in artifacts rule set only. Okay. So those rules are again manually updated rules. For example, strategies. Strategies also generally we keep it in artifacts rule set. Okay, you see artifacts rule set. So you can create some strategy, right? So you have to create in start artifacts rule set only. Okay. So most of the purpose is auto-generated rules will go into this, but some of the rule types like strategies, segments, actions, those also which are manually created rules, that also you will keep it in artifacts rule set. Okay. I will discuss like as of now, just remember strategy, segments, and actions, they will be in artifacts rule set. When we discuss the topic, I'll tell you again. But main purpose of this is to store auto-generated rules so that you
Okay.
have to keep this rule set version always unlocked, highest version of that.
So
Okay,
Ravi, in which scenario we'll create the auto-generated rules here?
sorry,
When we are going to create auto-generated rules, in which
we are
scenario?
not going to create. So that's what, when you update this CDH tabs, right? Like this CDH tabs are there, some rules are there. When you do some changes, automatically it will store.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, like for example, I'm creating some actions. Automatically, one action rule will be created in the backend, which will go into this rule set. Okay. Because here you don't see anything called UI. Everything is UI here. There is no rule concept in the end user portal. That's a CDH portal. So let us call it a CDH portal. So you do some changes, the backend rule will be there. That will be in the artifacts rule set. Okay, very important. Artifacts rule set, very like architecture kind of topic, this one. Artifacts rule set to store auto-generated rules and any kind of production changes also you can keep it here. Every environment highest version should be unlocked. NBAD tests, next best action designer tests, any kind of testing related rules, test cases, those you will keep it here. Okay. CDH common, which is to store any kind of reusable rules that you need in other CDH applications also, then those rules you can keep it in CDH common. Okay. Yeah, remaining all development rules, rule sets, development rule sets. Okay. Now our application is built on top of Pega Marketing FW, and Pega DevOps Foundation is for the operations manager. If you install the operations manager, this will be automatically added. So these two you can ignore, they are not part of your project. They are part of this sample application. They added this. Okay. Only the first one and second one will be there. Second one will be there only when you install operations manager. Otherwise, then only the first one will be there, which will be on top of the Pega decisioning framework. Okay. So yeah, this is how your structure will be there, your application structure. Okay, this is how your application structure will be there. Any questions before we move to the next one? Okay. So these are the rule sets. Again, while we go further, we will again store some rules to this. You will understand more about them. Now, there is one more class specific to your decisioning applications. Just like how you have work class for your Pega development, right? You have a work pool, you have the class group, all those concepts are there. Same way, for Pega decisioning, we have a separate class that is called SR class. Okay, so that is called SR class. So SR stands for strategy result. SR stands for strategy result. So before we go into that, let us see the next steps that we need to do. So how we started? We started with the environment setup yesterday. So that you need to go to the admin studio, you need to find out the CDH services, you need to enable the CDH services like ADM, DDS, RTDG. All this you need to add it in the setenv BAT file. Then restart the server. Then you will be getting in the admin studio. You will verify it. After that, we created our Pega CDH application. Once you created the application, just verify whether the definition is looking good or not. The artifacts rule set, NBAD test, everything should be there, and it will be there. Okay, it will be there. Once you created the application and once your application structure looks good, then the next thing that you need to do is to configure the business taxonomy. Okay. See, mostly as a junior developer, most of the time you might not do it. Okay. Or by the time you join, this taxonomy will already be there. Okay. So, but let us understand what is this. So once your application is created and your structure, your architecture is good, then you will be creating the business taxonomy. Business taxonomy means the business structure. Business taxonomy means the business structure. So whatever the structure, business structure means what? See, I am a bank, right? I am a U plus bank. I want to promote my products and services. So in the business structure, you need to provide what is the purpose of your promotion, what kind of offers you want to promote, all those you will be providing here. Okay. So just because I have, let us say 10,000 products or 1,000 categories I am not going to promote all the 1,000, right? So I need to decide which all products, which all categories I am going to promote. That is what I am going to do in the decision management. So what I went to configure decisioning, decisions, proposition management, hierarchy. This is where I will create my business taxonomy, where I will decide why I am promoting and what I am promoting. Okay. So what I am doing, I am just saying add, then I will say I have three things: business issue, business group, and property. So the business taxonomy, very important. Okay. Very important. Basic or fundamentals. The business taxonomy contains three components: business issue, business group, and propositions will be there. Okay. What is a business issue? Business issue is nothing but the purpose of the promotion. So if you see, all these are the business issues. acquire, collections, grow, nurture, retain, service. I am doing a promotion. Overall, this entire framework is for doing marketing, Pega marketing. Why I am doing the promotion? Why I want to do the marketing? The purpose here is to acquire new customers. Let us say the purpose is to grow the business. The purpose is to grow the business. That is the purpose here. The purpose is to retain the customers. That means, let us say, I am losing my customer. There are 1,000 customers are there 3 months back. Now I have 700 customers only, for example. So I am losing my customers. I don't want to lose my customers. I want to retain them by providing some discounts, by providing some coupons, all those things. So that is my purpose. So the purpose of the promotion is called as business issue. Is called as business issue. So let us create a new business issue. I'm calling it as sales. That means the purpose of my promotion is to increase the sales. Okay. So whenever you are getting some request, also you need to ask what is the purpose of the promotion? Are you is your target to increase the sales? Is your target to maintain the existing customer? For example, you are not promoting anything. No one will know about your business unless you are an established brand. No one will remember you, right? So you are starting now. So the purpose is to maintain the ongoing offers, or the purpose is to acquire new leads. So my purpose will be here, it is sales. Okay, the purpose here is sales. Okay, the business issue is nothing but the purpose of the promotion. So what is the purpose of the promotion that you are doing now? Okay, sometimes my purpose is to increase the customers. Sometimes my purpose is to increase the sales. Sometimes my purpose is to retain the existing customers. Okay, so all these are the purpose of the promotion. Then under business issue, you will have business group. Okay, the structure is like this. If you see, acquire, which is a business issue. What I want to acquire? I want to acquire the leads for auto loans. That is what I'm doing. Same thing here. So the purpose is to increase the sales. That is what I created now. Increase the sales of what? Increase the sales of what? So that's what I'm doing here. So I want to increase the sales of, say, this is my banking, right? I'm always discussing about banking only in this entire application. Okay. So that's what I'm doing. Guys, is my voice breaking? Or is it clear?
Is it clear, Ravi?
It's clear, it's clear, it's clear.
Maybe some network issue, I believe. Please check from your side, Lavanya. Okay. So now I'm creating the group. Business group means what? Business group is nothing but the category of the promotion. So my purpose is to increase the sales. That is my purpose. Now, business group will be whatever is the category of your promotion. Let us say I want to increase the sales of mobiles. I'll give the category name, business group name as mobiles. I want to increase the sales of laptops. So my category will be laptops. So whatever it is, whatever the promotion that you are doing, right? For example, for a telecom project, I want to increase the sales of internet plans. So my category will be, my business group will be internet plans. So that's what I'm doing here. So the business issue is the purpose of the promotion. The business group is the actual category of whatever you are promoting. Okay, for example, you're promoting some Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra phone. So the group will be mobile phones. That will be the business group name, which is nothing but the category. Okay, for example, you are promoting a sofa set. So the group will be something like furniture, right? The furniture will be the name of the group, like that. So that is what you are going to add as part of the business group. So then here we have two things. Create a versioned proposition data. What does it mean? See, generally, why do you create a version? Because it is always changing, right? Even in your development also. Let us say you added some 2 fields on the UI. Tomorrow business is asking to add 3rd field. You will save as that section into a separate rule set, in the higher rule set, and you will do the changes. Same thing here also, right? Same thing, same concept here also. Today, I am promoting a personal loan, which is containing a 1 CR personal loan. Okay, 1 CR personal loan with 10% annual interest, let us say. Tomorrow, business is asking to change from 10% to 15%. So I need to do a version, right? So that is why I'm having a version here. I will save as that and I will update from 10% to 15%. So that is the reason every time you create something, you should always create version proposition data. So unversioned proposition data is deprecated, and even if you create also, you cannot use that offer. So always ensure you are creating a versioned proposition data so that it will have a rule set version also. So this is going to be in rules only. So again, just follow what I'm telling. So it will not be in artifacts rule set. So whichever is in artifacts, I'll tell you. So this one you can create it in the rules rule set only as a general practice. So now I am creating the versioned proposition data, which is the personal loans. So overall, what I have created now, I created sales, which is the business issue. Under the sales, you will have business group called personal loans. That's what I'm doing. Okay. So that is how it will be. You will have business issue. Under the business issue, you will have business groups. Under the business groups, you will have the propositions. So that is how it will be. So you see my sales, that is, I want to increase the sales. That is the purpose. Why I am that is the purpose of why I am promoting, to increase the sales. To increase the sales of what? Which category? The category you call it as business group. Okay, business group is nothing but the category of the propositions. So which is personal loans. So sales, under sales, personal loans. Now under personal loans, you will add your propositions. Now what is a proposition then? So proposition is nothing but the promotion itself. Okay, proposition is nothing but the promotion itself. So why we are calling it as proposition means very important. Just try to remember so that you will always understand that. See, proposition means anything that you propose to the customer, right? Because see, for example, we don't have any static thing. See, it can be a product, right? It can be some tangible product, something like a laptop, some tangible product which you can catch it. It can also be some intangible product also, like for example, home loan. That can also you can promote, but it's not a product, right? It is a service. Home loan service or personal loan service. It's a service. Let us say you are promoting some coupon, $100 coupon. That is also something that you are promoting. Some $100 coupon that also you are promoting. So promotion can be a product, it can be service, it can be coupon, it can be discount. It can also be a notification also. So anything that you propose to a customer, propose means what? Propose means you are expecting a response from the customer. So that is the reason we call it as proposition. Proposition means anything that you propose to the customer is called as a proposition. The reason why we call it as proposition is because you send something and you are expecting some response from them. So that is the reason we call all these offers as propositions, which are nothing but the promotions itself. So overall, your business taxonomy will contain the business issue, under the business issue, business group, under the business group, propositions. That is how it will be there. Okay. Sales, personal loans, and under the personal loans, you will have your propositions. So that's what I am doing now. Since it is a banking related domain, I am taking some personal loans, credit cards, this kind of things I am taking. So I'm adding a new proposition now. So it will create a decision data. Again, we'll see this decision data in the coming topics. So when you create a business group, it will automatically create one decision data. So we'll see what is the purpose of decision data, but right now I'm adding the proposition. So you see, the business issue is, the purpose is to increase the sales. The group is to a category of what you're promoting, which is the personal loan category. And the proposition will be, let us say, I'm just saying 1 crore personal loan with 10% annual interest. That is what I'm giving here. So this is the name of the proposition. This is the description that you are giving here. That's what you need to do. Okay. Now, when you are creating the proposition, which is nothing but the offer or whatever the promotion that you are doing, that is nothing but my proposition. So you can select whether this proposition is active, whether this proposition is inactive. For example, during certain situations, you don't want to promote this. Like let us say during COVID or during some festival season, you don't want to promote this. You can select never, or you can also select the third option, which is within a defined time period. So just try to relate with a real-time scenario. For example, only from 25th December to 1st January, that is during the Christmas season, then only I want to promote some offer. Let us say some 50% discount on some furniture products. So you can select the time period starting from 1st of the May or to 31st of May, whatever. So just scenario I'm telling you, best example. Or during some Dasara season only, you need to promote some 20% discount offer. So you will give the date, start date from that Dasara month and then the end date like that. So that it will be active only during this time period, which is a GMT time. During this time only it will be active. Other remaining time it will always be disabled, which will be never. Only during this time the system will set it to active. Remaining time it will be set to inactive. That is what this will do. Okay. So that is what this will do. So this is how you create a proposition. So again, there is some issue in this sample application with the creating proposition, but it will not be there in the real-time applications. So you see the some cache issue or some refresh issues are there. Okay. So this is my proposition which I created now. Okay, this is the proposition which I created now. So let us check in and let us create one more group. Okay, one more group so that you can understand it much better. This is added proposition. So overall, my business taxonomy here in our scenario, what we have taken sales, under sales, personal loans, under personal loans, I have one proposition is there. Okay, I have one proposition. Same way, let us create one more group. I'm saying new group. Let us call it as credit cards. Okay, I'm creating it under sales. I'm creating it under sales and create it in rules set only every time. Okay. So sales, under sales, you have sales business issue. Under sales business issue, you have two business groups. One is credit cards, one is personal loans. Now under credit cards, now I'll have my propositions, which is what I'm going to promote, right? That's what I'm going to have here. So let us add some proposition here also. I'll say something like premium airlines credit card, some name I'm giving. Okay, premium airlines credit card. So this is the one which I want to promote with this offer. That is what I want to do. Again, some refresh issue, need to worry. It will be there in the backend. Even though it doesn't display, it will be there. Okay, so now this is my business taxonomy. Any question? So now in our scenario, what we have taken sales business issue under sales, two offers are there: credit cards and personal loans. And in credit cards, there is one proposition. In personal loans group, there is one proposition. Okay. In this business issue, two business groups. First business group has one proposition. Second business group has one proposition. Clear? Any questions?
Hi Ravi, Prajakta here.
Yeah, hi.
What is the difference between proposition and offer, or it is same?
Same, both are same.
Okay.
Both are same. See, we cannot call, let us say, you cannot call a service as an offer, right? Offer in general English meaning will be some kind of discount or some kind of benefit that you are giving, right? So since you cannot give a specific name, generally you call it as proposition. Okay, it can include offer, it can include discount, it can include coupons, it can include products, it can include some online service also, it can include some notifications also. Any kind of thing, not only offers, any kind of thing can be included as a propositions where you are expecting some response. That is what you call it as a proposition. It can be some email also. You'll just send a simple email. You're expecting some response. Okay, that's also a proposition. Any kind of thing where you are expecting the customer's response, you call it as proposition.
Okay.
Okay, so now if you see the CDH SR will also contain whatever the business issue that you created, the business group classes that you created, and the proposition that you created, everything will be there. So this CDH-SR, that is your application ID, right? My application ID is CDH, that's why you have CDH. So this CDH-SR class will be created when you created the first business issue. That is when this will be automatically created. Okay. When you created the first business issue, like for example, let us say Enquiries is the first business issue. When you created the business issue, automatically this SR class will be created. You don't need to create this manually. Just you come to this place, configure decisioning, decisions, proposition management hierarchy, come here and just create the business issue, then automatically it will be created. So it will be created in the format application ID, which is CDH-SR dash your business group name dash if any business issue name dash business group names. That is how it will be there. So you see CDH-SR dash sales dash credit cards, right? So that is how it is there. So if business groups are not there, then the class will be created till here only. Okay, the class will be created till here only. So that is how when you add the business issues and business groups, automatically these classes will be created. You don't need to manually create these classes. Okay, automatically these classes will be created. Now, what does they contain? All your rules, right? Backend rules will be there here. Okay, specifically the business group which contains the decision data, right? The decision data will be there in the groups. So that's what I told, right? When you create a business group, automatically one decision data will be created. That will be there in the class, whatever is there. So now, if you see, we created the business issue sales. That is the purpose. I want to increase the sales. That's why I'm promoting. I want to increase the sales of personal loans. Then which proposition I am promoting? I am promoting the 1 CR personal loan with 10% interest. This is what I am promoting. Now in the propositions, you will also have attributes, right? You call it as attributes. These are propositions and then you have attributes. So attributes are nothing but the properties in your Pega, right? In Pega, you call it as properties. So what is this properties then? See, I'm promoting something. There will be some characteristics, right? For 1 CR personal loan, I cannot say everything in the description, right? Okay, because for example, in tomorrow I want to change the value. I can't change every time in the description. So 1 CR personal loan. So for example, if you take some laptop, I'm promoting a Dell laptop. So you'll have some characteristics like what is the model, what is the make, what is the price, what is the price, okay, how many years warranty, all those are the characteristics. So those characteristics of your propositions, you need to add them as fields. That's what I'm doing here. So here I'm going to the form tab. I'm clicking on the add field. So here I'm adding the characteristics of the proposition. So for example, I am taking personal loans. So let us call it something like monthly EMI. This is what I am creating. So you need to add the properties here. So I'm starting with monthly EMI property. So again, create this in the rules rule set. Okay, artifacts have a separate purpose. Okay, so let us keep it decimal. Okay, or let us keep it integer for now. Okay, so this is one field I'm adding. And what else? So for a loan, what kind of characteristics will be there? So I'm just keeping monthly EMI, and let us keep something like annual interest. Annual interest. For example, we kept 10% interest, right? Same thing we are keeping here. So these are nothing but the characteristics of the proposition. So the attributes are nothing but the characteristics of the proposition. So again, based on the requirement, what data types that they are expecting, create as per that. I'm just creating my own scenarios here. Okay. So these two properties I created now. So I went to the form tab, then I created my properties. Okay. I created my properties. So now if you open this proposition, you can see the properties are coming. So this average cost will not be there in your real time. They added in this sample application. Okay. So I'm giving annual interest as 10%. Monthly EMI I'm giving it as some 40,000 I'm giving. Okay. Some 40,000 I'm giving. So this is how you create the proposition attributes also. So whatever the propositions that I am promoting, those proposition attributes also I am adding it here. Okay. Any questions on this? So one thing that you need to remember, see, let us say you're adding a field here. Any field that you add here, they will be a linear properties or only text input can be added here. Let us say I need to give multiple values. Or I need to have some kind of drop down as a characteristic of the proposition. So that you can do it in the use custom form. So whenever you say use custom form, if you see here, there will be one section. There will be one section called py edit element, and I think the name has been changed now. Okay, which will be your proposition name. Okay, your business group name. Okay, your business group name. So for example, if you go to the personal loans, so the personal loans group is there, right? So personal loan, this is the name of the section. So when you say use custom form, it will activate this section. It will activate this section. So what I'm doing, I'm just saying customize the form. See, whatever the characteristics that you are adding for your proposition, they can be only linear properties when you add it here, right? When I open the proposition, I can see they are coming as text input. But if I want some characteristics as a drop down, radio buttons like that, how should I do that? You can do that by clicking on use custom form. That's what I'm doing here. So I just came here. I selected the option use custom form. Then it will open this section, which is your personal loan section. See, whatever the business group name is there, that name only the section will also be there. Okay, that name only the section will also be there. So it is easy to remember. So here you can add whatever you want, right? You already know that this section, everything you know, where you can create your proposition. You can add drop downs, you can add radio buttons, check boxes, everything you can add it here, right? So that's what I'm adding here also. So I'm adding some drop downs, let us say. Let us add a drop down. Let us take some meaningful drop down. Okay, let us call it. Yeah, so let us call it something like occupation. Though this personal loan is applicable only for salaried customers. This personal loan is applicable only for business customers, something like that. That's what I'm taking here. Okay, I'm taking here occupation, and let us give local list for now. I'm giving here salaried, and here I'm giving business. Okay, salaried and business. That's what I'm giving here. Okay, so that is what I'm giving here. So occupation is salaried or business. Okay, now I submit. That's it. So if you now save it, just checking this. Okay, that's it. Now let us go back and see what happened. So if I go to the data tab where my propositions are there, I'm opening the proposition. So you can see now whatever the value that I want to select, I can select this. So let us say this I'm keeping only for salaried customers. So I'm giving the occupation equal to salaried. So that is how you will manage the entire business taxonomy. So all this part of the business taxonomy. Okay, any questions? So overall, we created the business taxonomy, which contains business issue, which is nothing but the purpose of the promotion. Business issue can contain multiple business groups. So I created personal loans and credit cards. Under personal loans, I created one proposition. Proposition is nothing but the promotion itself. It can be offer, it can be product, service, anything that you propose to the customer, waiting for their reply, you call it as proposition. Now, the proposition will contain some characteristics, like once you are personal, it contains some characteristics like what is the annual interest, what is the monthly EMI, what is the occupation of the customer to whom it is applicable. All those you can add it in the form tab. This is where you will add the fields. But here you can add only text input fields. If you want to add some drop down related fields, that you can add it in the custom form. So that is what we have seen here. Okay, so like that you can add your radio buttons, checkboxes, URL, everything you can add. All those are the characteristics of your proposition. Any questions? Clear? Everyone? Okay, so mostly it might be enrolled sessions from Monday. Please kindly go ahead and enroll. Looking forward to see you all from Monday onwards. It will be 1 hour session rather than 45 minutes. Okay, so yeah. So you will be getting the recordings, whatever happened these 3 days, the PPTs for all the days. You will also be getting the exercises once you enroll to the course. Okay. See you all and looking forward to see you everyone on Monday.